What is up, everybody? Happy Monday, guys. Welcome on into the Oklahoma Sooners 2026 schedule preview and record predictions. Riggs Tamburo, Seth Douglas. Hope you guys are doing well, man. This is going to be a fun one. You and I have had our back and forths over the past couple of years about Oklahoma, about this boy named John Mateer playing quarterback, Brett Venables. Got a lot of expectations on his shoulders coming into this season, man. What's he going into his fourth season up there at Oklahoma? So a lot of things going on here. A lot of potential for this Oklahoma team. Jesse Wynn's got an article for you guys, sportsformedia.com, along with a lot of others as well. So if you want to follow along or get even deeper information, go for it there. But my man, it's good to see you. I'm excited to get your takes here. We shouldn't waste any time, though, if you're okay with it. I know the way the season ended last year, kind of ugly one here for him, 34-24 to what people say is a not legit Bama team. But they get to open up here on September 4th at home against UTEP. Is this a 3, 4, 5, 6 score win?
I'll go at least a 2-score game. You know, I think with that next game that we're about to get into, they'll probably sit a couple people, get them rested. But, you know, easy, comfortable win for sure.
Okay. I'm right there with you guys. Once again, UTEP at Oklahoma, 8 p.m. Eastern, September 4th. 1-0 for the boys. Then September 12th at noon, they travel to see your boys up there at Michigan in a big house. This is one you and I have gone back and forth on the Michigan show. We had to talk about this game, and here we are. I know you're going to take the homer out of it because you're a professional, but I'm still interested to hear how this is going to go.
I think this one is going to be a loss. I think it's going to be a close loss, but I do think that team up north, my Michigan Wolverines, this is going to be a very sneaky team, a very prepared team, a very underestimated team, and they're going to right the wrongs right the wrong that they suffered in Norman, Oklahoma last year. So I think the Sooners take this L to Michigan.
This is a really tough one for me. You know, I've given Michigan a lot more credit than I've wanted to give Michigan, but I believe this is the game I took Michigan losing on the Michigan show. I think I said Mateer was going to walk up in here and get it done because of his experience, his age, Brett Venables. I thought they would have this one circled, and not that you kind of push over UTEP there to open the season, but you kind of spend 2 weeks preparing for Michigan more than you're preparing for UTEP. So that said, my man, in this one, I'm going to go Oklahoma. Walk in there and get this one done. I think the season starts with a bang. I have a concern coming that I'm a little bit iffy about with this team. But all right, so 1-1 for you, 2-0 for me. Then we got New Mexico. Get the Lobos in town at 7:30, September 19th at Oklahoma. It's an easy win for me. Do you think this one turns into some type of scary upset alert?
Nah, I think this is an easy win for New Mexico. And again, we're gonna get into this next game after this. I think that they kind of, I won't say rest because you're in week 3 by this time. You got to get everybody some playing time, you know, knock off the rust. But definitely, they're setting the tone to go into this Georgia game that we're about to talk about.
Yeah, speaking of that Georgia game, let's go ahead and hop up in here. 3-0 for me, 2-1 for Seth. Guys, let us know how you're feeling, what you're thinking. Our YouTube channel at The Sports Forum. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. Or if you're watching on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever it might be, guys, at Sports Forum CO for you as well. But Oklahoma at Georgia. They walk into Michigan for me, and they get a win, Seth, but they do not walk into Georgia and get a win. This is a team, I'm not going to spoil the Georgia show. You guys got to go watch it from about a week or so ago. But Seth had a bold take on there. I disagreed with him, but he's right in this spot. Oklahoma at Georgia is a loss. Give me the Dogs. Who you got?
Yes, give me the Georgia Bulldogs. I am very high on them this year. And I also want to pose a question to you, Riggs. We talked about Texas. We talked about Georgia a little bit in our shows. And I would say we would both classify them as the tier 1 teams in the SEC. So where do you see Georgia at? Are they tier 1? Or excuse me, where do you see Oklahoma at? Are they tier 1? Are stay in that second tier where it's going to get a little murky, and there's a lot of teams fighting to get into that next step?
It's a really good question. This year, they're tier 1.
They're tier 1, okay.
Coming into this year, they were the team that I felt last year you kind of defended them relatively often as tier 1 because you believed in John Mateer, and I respect that. But this year, it is the best Oklahoma team I think we're going to have seen since Baker Mayfield. Yeah, they had their Spencer, Rattler days and their Caleb Williams days and whatever. But this, to me, is the best overall, best coached Oklahoma team we have seen in a very, very long time, Seth. I don't know if next year they're tier 1, but they are this year. And if they want it, it's time to go get it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think I need to see them propel themselves because they definitely were struggling when it came to running the football. And if you're going to be a tier 1 team, you got to be dominant on the line of scrimmage. You got to be able to run the ball. Running the ball definitely equals championships. We've seen that countless times over the years. So I think if they are going to solidify themselves as a tier 1 team and ultimately make it down to Atlanta, Georgia to play in the SEC title game, they have to run the ball. So that's how I see it to be a tier 1 team.
Quick reversal here on you.
Yes, sir.
In my opinion, this team, other than the slight, the disrespect they're going to get for all the people who believe they are not a tier 1 team.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you believe this team is going to stay inside that top 20 national rankings the entire year? Because I do.
Yeah, I think they can. Despite losing,
other than the early loss, the early loss at Michigan, if they do lose that, they could fall out of it. But to me, as long as they don't fall out of it and they're still like 22, they immediately come back in. Yeah, the Georgia thing, they got to win with those two, but obviously, according to me, they are. So for you, is this team ranked throughout the year or not?
I think this team is ranked throughout the year. I think just with their schedule, I think the committee won't move them lower than 20 because I think they're going to value the strength of the schedule with Oklahoma this year. So, yeah, I don't think they'll move out the top 20. I mean, if they lose three games or more, then sorry, not sorry. Yeah, you're going to be dropped out of the top 25. But I think just with the strength of schedule and the games that we're going to talk about, I think they make a good case on staying in at least top 20.
Well, we'll see what happens here because at Georgia, like I just said, guys, at Michigan, at Georgia, they have to win one. If they don't, they're not who I think they are. I get it. It's insanely disgusting. I don't know how they drew that. That is just awful. You get 2 freebies at home and then you get 2 horrific games on the road. Like, okay, in the first 4 weeks, it is what it is. But if you are a tier 1, like I'm giving you the respect for, you got to find a way to get one of them. So we'll see what happens here. But that is 3-1 for me, 2-2 for Seth so far. Texas, bro, what the hell's going on here? You know what, Seth? Maybe they're not tier 1, Seth. Maybe they're not. But look, they're still a tier 1 team. I don't know if their record's going to say it, but they are a tier 1 football team. Anyway, Texas, they do get it at home October 10th here, 3:30 Eastern at Oklahoma. Well, some people believe in Arch Manning and some don't. Are you a believer?
Yeah. Well, technically, this is a neutral site game.
True.
Because, the Cotton Bowl is split down the middle. And you have half Sooner fans and half Texas fans, but that's for another time. Do I think they get it done? I think they do. This one is going to be a game that comes down to who has matured the most over this offseason. Is it Arch Manning? Is it John Mateer? Who has the run game? I think the run game is going to be definitely a key component in this matchup. To control the line of scrimmage, that's always going to be a key factor. And I think I mentioned this behind stage earlier. Oklahoma just has Jason Witten as the new tight ends coach, and I think this game has a lot of tight ends that make their name. So with that being said, I think we should be looking for Oklahoma tight end to make their name in this game and, propel Oklahoma to get this victory. So I'm rolling with the Sooners to get the job done.
It's a really, really tough game to call. The Jason Witten news is fantastic. If you're an Oklahoma fan, pretty freaking cool to have a legend like that in your tight end room, coaching your guys up here. But the ball's still got to come from the man, John Mateer. And my big thing here is, how is he going to do up against this defense? Guys, this is where I'm putting my stock in to John Mateer and this team. They are experienced. He is experienced. Now, could he end up being, Seth, what I gave shit to every quarterback for the last 2 years? Ellinger's going to be, or not Ellinger. Oh my God, the Texas kid. Anyway.
Arch?
No, the dork that fumbled in the semifinal, who went to the Dolphins.
Oh my God. Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers. Oh, Jesus. There you go. Mm-hmm. Like that little fraud. He was so experienced. Everyone thought he was going to be so good. He was older than everybody else, and he was just bad. Could he be that? Could he be a Garrett Nussmeier? Yes, but Seth, I don't know what it is, man. I tell you, it's only once in a blue moon I have these feelings about these quarterbacks. But this guy, man, they gave him a hell of a schedule, but he's going to be legit, and I'm looking forward to it. So these are the moments. I'm giving him another one. I think between the big three there, I think Georgia, Michigan, Texas, they take 2 out of the first 3. Bang them. So
quick question for you. Who, defensive-wise, who are you taking as your DC in this game? Are you taking Will Muschamp, or are you trusting Brent Venables to get the job done? And who do you think what quarterback is going to handle the amount of pressure that either of those coaches are going to give them?
Arch Manning has the easier game here. I think Arch Manning is going up against an easier defense. I think Venables as a play caller, I think he's a better coach, but who has the better people on the field having to do the assignment? I think Texas is the better defense overall. So I think Arch is going to have less pressure than Mateer is. Now, don't be wrong. They're going to go get him, and they should go get him. But we've seen what happens when Arch Manning gets pressure. As long as you don't leave the gap wide open, he starts panicking. So I think they're going to pressure him. But the defensive advantage here, if I could pick a team, I'd rather have Texas. But I trust Mateer more than I trust Manning.
Got it.
And keep in mind, these two might just be little draft nemesises here. They might be Heisman nemesises. Is it nemesi? I've never even used that term in my life. But anyway.
I think it's just nemesis. But we can add the plural.
Interesting. Hey, Chat GPT. I'm just kidding. Look, all I know here is that when these big games, man, at a neutral site, you got to take the guy who's the best player on the field, and I feel like it's John Mateer. So I'm going to go that way. But, hey.
I'm not mad at it. But, yes, I think Oklahoma gets it done. I'm with you on that.
Oklahoma to get it done. All right, my man. It's time to start stacking these wins because so far, Seth, they could have 2 wins, and it could be against freaking UTEP and New Mexico, and they could lose everything else. So I'm a little bit scared here. I can't even freaking lie. But Kentucky comes to town here. People want this to be a game, and I do think it's a better game if they're coming off all these wins. And everyone piping up, oh, my God, Oklahoma's a top 7 team, and they're incredible. And okay, well, they might choke against Kentucky, but they won't. But other than getting complacent here, I think this is a much easier win than people think. Give me Oklahoma by a solid 14+.
Okay. I think it's 14, but it's a scary 14, though. I do think this Kentucky Wildcat team, a lot of newness in the program. New head coach, new quarterback, all that good stuff. But, when you have those kind of teams, you don't really know what to expect from them. So I do think they'll probably catch Oklahoma off guard a little bit, coming off an emotional win that we're predicting from Texas, coming off getting beat up a little bit. So I think this will be a game for at least half of a half or a half. But yeah, give me Oklahoma to squeak one out against Kentucky.
I'm with you. I think squeak one out is the fair term. It just feels to me like it's either going to be kind of close and we go, whoo, they got out of there, or they just kick the crap out of them. I don't think they lose no matter how you cut the cake here in this one. But Oklahoma at Mississippi State, my man, is this a game or are we moving on through with a dub?
I'll give them a dub. This one's pretty lock and step.
Right there with you. South Carolina at Oklahoma. We already know Beamer fighting for the job over there. And Seth, you know what it is, my boy? It's Spooky Saturday in college football. Everybody knows Halloween, man. There's some weird matchups going on. There's going to be some weird upsets going on. Is this one of them? And by that, I mean, does South Carolina win? Because I think by this point in the season, South Carolina are exactly who I think they are, and that is not as good as everyone else thinks they are. But anyway, Seth, what do we got?
Is this at South Carolina?
I think it's at Oklahoma. Yeah.
At Oklahoma. Okay. If it was at South Carolina, I would have my eyeballs peeled for this game. I'll be like, I would look at that a little side eye and be like, there is a chance. But I mean, South Carolina is another curious team, another scary team that you have to get up for. You know, Lenore Sellers is still at Oklahoma, still at South Carolina. So, I mean, you gotta be ready for him. Like that team still has some SEC caliber talent. So, I mean, you got to be prepared. But I think Oklahoma should get this done. But don't be surprised if it's a little closer than what we expect. Just off the fact Halloween is that day. So you never know.
Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with any of that. But, guys, I do feel pretty good about Oklahoma winning this game. It's going to be good. Shane's fighting for his life. You know, you and I have had those talks about will he be fired? Is he going to turn things around? Are they, was last year just a kind of like a blip? And like I said, I think the year, unfortunately, before that was the blip. I think the really good moments were kind of the blip. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, more than it was, they just kind of fell off. They're back. Really? Florida State back too. Like, bro, let's just
pump the brakes.
At some point, we got to just be real with ourselves and be like, they just ain't that good. Yeah. It's cool. But that's where I'm at with South Carolina. So we'll see. But Oklahoma, man, dude, Seth, really quick question. Is this the hardest college schedule we've seen so far? Because I actually think it is.
It's up there. It's one of them. I definitely seen a graphic somewhere listing the top 10, and I believe Oklahoma's they're in the top 10, but I don't think
they got to be top 3, bro. And if you say they're not, then I don't think people are going to go Texas' schedule. No, it's not, bro.
Oh no, Texas. That's a brutal schedule.
Texas is a tough one. Look, they're up there. But to me, that was probably the hardest one, I think, that we've done from the top 20, top 25 teams coming into here. And I think this is harder.
The depth that, especially the SEC has.
Oh, look. The fact that you are at Michigan, at Georgia, and then finally you almost got a home game that counts as a home game, but it's on the road technically against Texas. Like, are you shitting me? Yeah. Like, what do they got to do to have an advantage in a game? It's just, it's unreal. They're going to be huge dogs in all these games. At Michigan, at Georgia, week 2, week 4, Texas with Arch Manning, they should come in 4-0. Like, bro, they're going to
I think they'll be favored against Michigan, maybe by –
in Michigan? You think so?
By 6.5 at least. I think
no way.
Just off of what? Because again, we talked about
6.5 is crazy.
Watch Riggs. I believe just off the fact that they won last year, and then on top of that, Michigan is just such an unknown right now. We don't really know what we're going to get from them. A lot of people are going to be like Oklahoma by a decent margin. A close game. So they'll be favored.
And this is coming a touchdown. If they give me a touchdown, they're going to learn the hard way. Look, I'm on Oklahoma, but you don't give me a fucking touchdown in that game. That said, if it's anything, and I think this is too much. if it's anything more than a field goal and a half, 3.5, 3, if it's anything more than that, I'm shocked. And if it's once that 4 number pops up, if they start putting out Michigan +4, +4.5, dude, the public is going to slam it. Which actually, then I might want Oklahoma, but I don't think it should be more than 2.5. If either team is favored by 2.5, I think that's a fair line. Yeah, I think it's a coin toss game. Pick your side. But I think it's a coin toss game. So
I don't know if yes, it's a coin toss, but I'm just thinking about how the perception is going into this year and going into the that game in particular. I just think a lot of people are going to be looking at Oklahoma saying like this is the more proven team as of right now, so they're going to give them.
Look, at Oklahoma, it's a pretty easy win, but it ain't at Oklahoma. So we're going to find out. But anyway, point is, guys, this and Texas are top 2 hardest to me so far, and I think this is the big one so far. Who knows? But anyway, where we're getting into that is, guys, it keeps, unfortunately, going here. Oklahoma at Florida, a new, and I'll use quotation marks, improved Florida team with new expectations that they claim they're going to meet here, Seth. First of all, super quickly, does Florida meet those expectations? And second of all, do they do it by winning this game here in front of their home crowd against a hopefully hot Oklahoma team?
Quick and simple, no and no. Granted, I like what John Summerall, I believe that is the head coach. He came from Tulane. Or not Tulane, Tulsa. No, Tulane, yes. He came from Tulane. I like what I'm hearing from him. His podium talks and press conferences are top line at during this offseason, but that's a lot of stuff that he has to come in there and fix. Will they be a scrappy team? Yes, I will give them that, but do I think they have a chance to really win some key notable games this year? Probably not.
I'm not going to disagree with that. I do, as much crap as I just gave him to open up the show, I like Florida from a sense of like, I can see the rebuild happening in front of our eyes. But for some reason, them and Florida State have not figured it out yet. They haven't figured out the NIL thing. They haven't locked in a coach that seems really solid for their program. It doesn't feel there yet, but we'll see what happens. But they are not going to win this game. But what do you know, Seth? Another game where they have to go on the road and try to get one in a dangerous environment. Dude, Seth, they could lose every single fucking game on the schedule, bro. Other than UTEP and New Mexico, every game's losable, which is just insane to me. But honestly, in college football, by the way, not going to go on a rant, this is how it should be. I'm tired of every week that comes around, there's 3 good games and there's a 58 blowout joke games, and we're all like, what the hell, bro? Like, there's one good game at noon, one good game at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
What are we doing? So anyway, not Oklahoma. Oklahoma got another fun one, Seth. Ole Miss comes to town. Hey, it's another big dog, but at least you get them at home here. Lane Kiffin and the boys. Oh, I'm sorry. Traitor. Anyway, I won't get into it, but you're higher on Ole Miss than I am. I think on the Ole Miss show, you took this as an Ole Miss win. Are you standing by that?
Yes, I am sticking by this. Definitely a battle of the Heisman or ranking of the Heisman hierarchy with Trinidad Chambliss and John Mateer. So I think John Mateer, this is I think I said this in the Ole Miss show. He has a lot of opportunities to have those Heisman type games, and this is probably going to be one of them. So give me Trinidad Chambliss with the dub to get over Oklahoma.
Guys, Seth's a Trinidad Chambliss guy. I'm not. So we'll see what happens with this one. You want to talk quarterbacks? Give me John Mateer in this game, though. If we're talking quarterback, I'll take him. Defensively, this goes Ole Miss's way, I believe, based on the guys they brought in, based on the way we saw the coaching end the season last year. They actually low-key, weirdly, after all the Lane Kiffin time, they actually got to the playoffs and they kind of played defense. Don't be
Mhm.
wrong, they're still high scoring games, but like they were shutting teams down. They were getting fourth down stops. I was kind of like, damn, who's this Ole Miss defense? So that goes to them, but it's in Oklahoma and they have the better quarterback. So give me Oklahoma to win this football game here against Ole Miss. Another signature win. They take one against Michigan early. This is the one that people go, if they lose this with what they got remaining, it's over. I think this game keeps them in the conversation at this point, realistically. So we are different sides here, guys. Then, Seth, what do you know? Does it get easier? No, it doesn't, because Texas A&M are coming to town 7 freaking days later. How does this one go? You and I, big fans of this Texas A&M coaching staff, but not necessarily fans of what they're putting on the field here. So what are you thinking?
Oh no, this one is a very interesting game in my opinion. I do like Marcel Reed, the quarterback for Texas A&M. I think he's also another dark horse when it comes to Heisman. It just depends on how his resume stacks up and how he does against high quality opponents in the SEC this year. But I just don't know. I don't really have a pulse on them, and I do think Oklahoma is a playoff team. I think they can get to the playoffs, but as we are going down the schedule, I'm like, ooh, I don't. Three losses might get them out of here. So I'm like, do I give them their third loss? Or shoot, I already gave them a third loss. They 8-4.
Tough schedule.
I think give me Oklahoma, but this one is very, very close. I think this is a very close game. I think Mike Elko and Texas A&M, Marcel Reed, they're gonna have it figured out by this time, and this is going to be another dangerous team that we're talking about making some moves in the SEC, trying to get to Atlanta as well. So for the time being, give me Oklahoma, but I hold my reserve to change later in the year when this game comes around.
Fair enough, dude. Like I said, they genuinely could have 2 or 3 wins at this point in the year. Like 2, no. I mean, obviously they have basically 2 freebies, but they could have 3. They could have 4. Like that is very realistic at this point in the year.
Is it more likely for them to go 7-5, or is it more likely for them to go 10-2 at this point?
I will answer that here at the very end of the show. It's a good question. Okay. Texas A&M and Oklahoma. You take the home team in this game, and that team's Oklahoma. They are going to be in battles. They are going to be either 5-point dogs or 5-point favorites consistently. They are going to have to win off the back of their quarterback, and that is why Trinidad Chambliss is not going to be the Heisman set. That is why John Mateer is going to be the Heisman, is because he is going to win them these games. Their defense better step up, and their run game better have figured it out. I think they did. When you look at that depth chart, it's there, but will it work? I guess we will see what happens here. But Seth, if they get through Michigan, if they get through Ole Miss, like I said, they ain't losing Texas A&M.
Okay.
Texas A&M, though, they do win these games, bro. They do win these like late season, small dog. They do walk in and spoil the party for people all the freaking time. So it's there, like you said. Come season time, we might change our picks here, but I'm there with you. I like Oklahoma in this game. Then Oklahoma at Mizzou, November 28th there, just after Thanksgiving. My man, after everything you've been through, this could be the game. Can't lose another one. You win and you're in type of situation. Win and give yourself a chance type of situation. Do they take down Mizzou?
I think they do, but Missouri is another team that's very scary if you don't take them serious. Like Eli Drinkowitz, the head coach at Missouri, he has built this team on just like grittiness and just the ability to win in the margins. Usually you don't think of Missouri as having like the top tier talent, but they know how to play football. And I like the moves that they've made over the offseason. They brought in Chip Lindsey, the new OC coming from from Michigan. We've seen what he did out there, and then we also seen that they brought in Austin Simmons, the former Ole Miss quarterback, as well. So we are definitely going to see what they have in store for them. But I don't know, this Oklahoma team has faced a lot of teams and been in a lot of close battles. I will give them the win, but don't be surprised if Missouri says something about that and potentially has an upset waiting for them. But Oklahoma gets this done, and I think I think I got them at like 9-3 maybe at this point.
Hey, my bad, yo.
Is that good enough to get them in the playoffs, Riggs?
Yeah.
Is that good enough to sneak them in? 9-3?
Let me tell you something. We debate this 9-3 thing every freaking year. Seth, if they go 9-3 with this schedule and you don't put them in, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Shame on you. Bro, look at it. Seth, bro, if they go 6-6, that in itself is going to be difficult.
Right.
And I'm being real. Winning 6 of these games is not easy. And is there a world floor? You ready for this? Floor, yeah. 5-7.
Wow. Yeah. I can see it. Yeah.
They could miss the bowl game. They could. Real shit. Now, it will ruin John Mateer's stock. Brent Venables might just get fired. They might collapse if it happens, but it's there.
Yeah.
But you asked me.
I was about to say, before you go.
5 more likely.
I was about to say, before you go, funny enough, you bring that up. I think since Brent Venables has been there, he would always have a really good season, like a 10-2 or a 9-3 season, and then it'll take that dip and go 7-5 or 5-7, and then come back up. So this year, after having a playoff caliber season, making the playoffs, going 10-2, I believe. I mean, if we're following the little graph, I'm pretty sure they're nosediving to like a 7-5, 5-5, or 6-6 kind of record. So I mean, I don't know.
I'm there with you, but you asked me 7-5 or 10-2. Thank God I've had like 4 minutes to think about it, but I still don't like my answer. What do I think is more likely?
Yeah.
I think they can go 10-2 and they can beat the piss out of some of these people, and people are going to be shocked. I think they are a top 10 football team. I think they're a tier 1 team. I think John Mateer is a top 3 Heisman finalist. I think there's a good chance he wins the award. And y'all ain't ready for this conversation, but he might be a better quarterback coming out than Arch Manning. Now, he won't get drafted higher than him.
Yeah.
But on paper, he might be better than him. So stay tuned. But anyway, I'm going to say 10-2 for me.
Okay.
But what is more realistic? 7-5.
Yeah.
Easily. I think, genuinely, they're a 9-3 team. And I will be one of those guys that's going to war for this team saying, put them in the freaking playoff. They've already beat half these teams. Put them in. You know, if they lose a close one to Georgia and then they lose one to Ole Miss, who gives a shit? You're going to lose to 2 top 5 teams. It is what it is.
Right.
You know, and then if you beat a Michigan and you handle Kentucky and you don't slip against some of the others, you handle Florida on the road. If you go do all that and you lose 3 to like the 3 best teams, it's going to be hard. Everyone's like, respectfully, I'm just going to throw a name out there. Put Tulane in. Put James Madison in. Bro, shut up, bro.
Yeah.
Like, are y'all not tired of watching these teams lose by 40? I'm fucking over it, bro. This team ain't losing by 40 to nobody in the playoff. Nobody. Everyone who's like, put in Bama. I'd rather have this team. On paper right now, I'll take Oklahoma.
Yeah. I can agree with you on that one.
So, anyway, my man, I got one more question for you.
Yes, sir.
Just to confirm, I need your final record. Will they be a playoff team? And if so, do they have a chance to win a national championship? Or are you taking them out the conversation?
I think this is a playoff caliber roster for sure. So I will say yes, but I think they will go 9-3. just going out after we went off the schedule. I'm like, dang,
Mhm.
I didn't know it was this crazy for them. I thought they had some games, but
Yeah, me too.
Going back to back to back like that, I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that one. So 9-3 is my record prediction. I do think they could make the playoffs, but to win a national championship, I don't think the stars are aligning for them right now. If they had maybe if they would have had last year's schedule and
Yeah,
Mateer didn't get hurt as early and kind of derailed them a little bit, maybe they would have a better shot this year. But going into 2026, I don't think this is a natty championship team, so they miss out.
All right, guys. Bet him for the Heisman. I'm a fan of that. We are reaching. I'm reaching by telling you to bet him as a national champion. The schedule is just so
hard,
so bad, bro. Seth, if you see any more graphics and they don't have a top 5 hardest schedule, they're fucking lying. Okay. Find me one harder. Seriously, find me one harder. Texas is hard. This is a little bit harder than that. And those are easily the hardest 2 I've seen.
Well, shoot, they're missing out on LSU. So, I mean, but Texas does have LSU this year.
Yeah, so that's true. That's true. They're missing LSU, but you're still drawing everybody else.
Yeah, true.
Everybody else. I mean, I don't know. Hey, we'll see what happens, guys. But sportsforummedia.com got that article up for you now from Jesse Wynn. Make sure to check that out. Live for you guys every day, except this week. No Tuesday show, no Wednesday show. We will see you guys Thursday. We will see you guys Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern. Make sure to tap in with us. We'll have daily posts for you guys on all socials at the Sports Forum on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, and then at Sports Forum CO across all other social media. Seth Douglas for you guys at SND Sports Media. Give him a follow. Myself at Rig Sports Talk. We appreciate you guys for tapping in, man. Oklahoma 2026. Book the tickets now, Seth. I'll see you in the playoffs, my boy. Peace out, guys.